Mary's Wedding spoke to me because it is about two young people who meet under unlikely circumstances. Mary has just arrived in the Alberta, Canada area with her parents, and she's pretty upper class, raised very proper, and she meets a country farm boy, Charlie, and they hit it off instantly.
Mary is a very kind person. She's right in her 20s. She sees people, she understands them, but she can get caught up in herself easily. Family is very important to her, and that's something that I hold really dear as well.
Charlie is a wonderfully kind and simple Canadian farm boy. Loves horses, loves riding horses, loves the Charge of the Light Brigade. That's his one poem that he remembers. The playwright, Stephen Massacoti, you can tell did a lot of historical research. He wanted to provide a grounding for historical characters. He worried that people from history were just becoming names in history books, and he wanted to make sure that future generations understood that these were real people that had real lives, and that kind of, I think, challenged me to try to put as much research as I could into my character to understand where he would have lived, how old he would have been, what kind of backstory he would have had.
Some of the scenes are very emotional. I mean, it's about World War I. You have so much death and tragedy in this show, and it just bounces back and forth between a happy scene and then a very hard and heavy scene. So that's been a challenge, especially because there's not a curtain close. It just rolls right into the next feeling, and it's a total change sometimes.
The play does not go in chronological order. One of the challenges for me as the director was how to present the show and keep the audience moving with us, but not confused. We have a scene, we call it flashback panic attack. That's what I call it anyway. And one of the things was we had to role play a panic attack because we had to get all the breath work and all the movement in to make it feel real. Jonathan Schlegel composed a whole score for this show, original music, and it ties all the parts and pieces. So Mary has a theme and Charlie has a theme. And so every time we go into the war scenes, we hear Charlie's theme, and every time we go into the Canada scenes, we hear Mary's theme.
To know that there are people who really experienced stuff like this, it makes the story, it makes me treat it, I think, slightly sacredly.
Mary is very relatable. Anybody in their 20s, I would think, would relate to her.
I hope Charlie resonates with audiences in his simple love of life. He learns to love life and continues to love life, and I hope people take that away.
Just a pure joy as a director. Very, very different, but very exciting.